Hey, creative friends, I have a fun bonus episode for you today, something I've never done before. Before we get into it, you know my calligraphy courses, my Pro Calligrapher Bundle is open for enrollment right now. It is a complete education in calligraphy and business. And I know some of y'all are out there going like, "Oh, I really want to do this. I really want to go for this calligraphy business dream of mine." But the main hesitation is I don't quite trust that I'm going to follow through. What if I don't do everything that it takes in the year that I get the support and I fail and I have to beat myself up for it for spending this money and wasting this money forevermore? I have a response for you, but it's not going to come in my voice. It's going to come in the voices of five of my students. I've asked these ladies to just give a brief update of how their calligraphy and how their business is going since I last talked to them. And the cool thing about this range of students is that some of them purchased my courses 5 years ago in 2020 and are just kind of getting back to things now. Some purchased in 2023, but just started their business seriously a month ago. Some are 2 years into business and thriving. You're just going to hear a range of different places where people are. And the whole message here is that you have time. And the only way that you're going to fail in this is if you give up completely on yourself and just stop listening to your desires altogether. Because there's so many stories here of students who they know that they want to try this. They know they want to give it a shot. They have my courses and it just takes, life gets in the way. It's rude. It's disrespectful. It doesn't do what you want, right? A lot of the times. But they just kept listening to the voice inside that said, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And because I provide lifetime access to my courses, they were able to finally do it. So, Pro Calligrapher Bundle is open for enrollment through Tuesday, January 28th, 2025. And we're going to close doors for good after that date because we are walking a brand new group of students, a live cohort through the curriculum starting at the very beginning so that everyone can get to know each other, feel like they're part of a class, encourage each other, see that they're not doing this alone. So crookedcalligraphy.com/courses, the Pro Calligrapher Bundle. If you have never heard of it, if you listen to this podcast, I don't see how that would be the case. But quick summary, it is my Modern Calligraphy 101 beginner point to pen calligraphy course, Modern Calligraphy 201, my course all about styling and calligraphy confidence, and then my calligraphy business starter guide, all together bundled up for less than $1,000, less than the price of a single college class, and you're getting a complete education in calligraphy and business. And you get lifetime access and personalized support and just all sorts of extra things. So let's get into our student updates. We're going to start with Priscilla Basilio Design Studio. And she signed up for our courses in February of 2022. So that's 3 years ago. She started her business maybe a year after that in 2023. And we last talked on this very podcast exactly a year ago, January 2024. Here's where she was at that time. She had been doing her business for less than a year and was just really going for it, focusing on custom wedding invitations. So with the actual designing of stationery, printing that, assembling it for brides. She was also doing some live events. And she shared with me the exciting news that just that December 2023, she had made for the very first time in her life more income than her husband. Oh, I remember the moment she told me that. It was so exciting. I'm so proud of her. Here is her update now a year later.
Hi, Sheena. So the last time we talked was about a year ago. I had just quit my full-time job. So my income goal for last year was to make as much as I did in my healthcare job. And not only did I do that, but I actually doubled that income. I also went from having 4 clients last year to 21 clients so far this year, and a couple of clients actually for 2026 as well. And then the last big thing for my business is that I hired 2 incredible women to help me out on this crazy journey of mine. So it's been pretty amazing.
All right. I'm so amazed by how Priscilla has just gone for it and grown her business and has really come alive doing it. She's so much happier than she was when she used to work in a miserable healthcare job with, frankly, kind of a mean boss. And now she's her own boss. And she's the boss of two other amazing women and she gets to create opportunities for them and it's just all fabulous. Okay, our next update is from Tanya, light as a feather calligrapher. She is also a couple years into her business, but she signed up for our courses almost 4 years ago, 2021, because calligraphy, she just wanted to kind of get better at it. Calligraphy reminds her of her mom, who passed away when she was young. Her mom had beautiful handwriting, but she kind of just, as she did it, and as she was listening to this podcast, kind of felt like, oh, maybe I could make a business out of it. And in 2023, she kind of gave it a shot. So we talked in January 2024, so 1 year ago, and she was growing her business. She had started calling herself Montana's calligrapher because she does not live in a big urban place. But she was really gaining momentum, just doing custom commissions, writing letters to Santa. In her first year of business, she was able to pay for a cruise to Italy and Istanbul for her and her family, just with her calligraphy business earnings. And she was just so proud of herself. So let's hear where she's at 1 year later.
Hi, Sheena. Tanya here with Light as Feather Calligraphy. Just an update on where my business is at. I have celebrated my 2-year anniversary. I am still growing strong organically. I have actually found that I'm getting returning clients, and I'm really appreciative of that. I have actually started into the wedding industry, so I'm kind of going to see where that road takes me and get a little bit more boost in sales that way. But still number one calligrapher in Montana, and I'm proud to say that I enjoy it. I enjoy it 100%.
I love that Tanya is just continuing to really enjoy herself with her business. That's what she exudes. When you talk to her about calligraphy, she's just so delighted that she's able to do this craft and make money with it. And it's just really inspiring. Okay, we're going to move on to our third student, Jessica. Fine Script Studio. She's a little bit newer to business, so she's about 1 year into business. She signed up for our courses about 2 years ago, 2023. And I talked to her 6 months ago. Her business was pretty new at that point. And she just shared the most powerful story of really finding herself again through calligraphy. She is a middle school teacher. She's been doing it for 20 years, but like so many teachers out there, the last 6 years were just like such a struggle. Pandemic, having small children. Her husband often worked far away. She was really on anxiety meds, just really struggling. And calligraphy brought her back to herself. And starting her business it was way more than just money. It helped her finally feel powerful again. It helped her feel like she could envision a hopeful, exciting future. And when she was talking to me the last time we talked, she said she was starting to wean herself off her anxiety meds. She just feels so much more like herself. Oh, and she lives in a quiet Boston suburb and is very introverted. So she was using just really kind of natural networking ways to connect with local businesses and get wedding jobs. And she was about to teach her very first calligraphy workshops, which was very exciting for her because she's, a teacher. So let's listen to her very exciting update.
Hi, Sheena. This is Jessica. The last time we talked, I had really just been a few months into starting to get clients, making money, and I was just about to have my first workshop at a local winery. I ended up having 22 people. It was a huge success. I had so much fun. I've taught a couple private lessons and I'm about to launch some brush pen calligraphy workshops I'm really excited about. Last month, I sold personalized ornaments, custom quotes, and I was hired to write gift tags at a high-end department store and to hand engrave bottles for a pretty big wine label at a liquor store. My partnership with a local catering company I've been working with, it's still going strong, and I'm starting to get people to reach out to me through all these connections I've made. I still have my full-time job, but I've made so much growth just doing my business part-time, and I just can't wait to see what the next year brings.
Oh, I'm so excited for Jessica's future. Just moving forward with this calligraphy and just how much light it has brought into her life. Okay, fourth student. So now we're getting to students who are really much newer. I wanted to give you a good representation, right, of what this calligraphy business journey can look like. So we're going to talk to Magda Calligraphy. She's only really 1 month into her business. That's when she really started to take it seriously. She signed up for our Pro Calligrapher Bundle in July 2023, so about a year and a half ago. And I talked to her in May of 2024, so about 7 months ago, and she had just gotten paid her first $100 for calligraphy. She was very excited. She kind of just reached out to someone on Instagram and it happened. So, and it made her think like, wow, maybe I could make money with calligraphy. I really kind of hadn't believed it before, but she was really excited about that. And she's giving us an update now, and I'm going to tell you, it's a realistic one. It involves self-doubt and fear, and then really taking those small steps to get into a great headspace and just really cheer herself on for her, accomplishments that she's able to make and setting herself up for 2025. All right, so let's hear her update.
Hi, Sheena. This is Magda from Magda Calligraphy. I just wanted to provide an update on where I'm at in my business since the last time we spoke in May of 2024. I wish I could say that I've exploded and made so much money. However, since then, my life just got absolutely chaotic and I had no time for anything. And it was only at the start of December where I had this epiphany of like, no, I am doing this. I am selling things. I sold 16 ornaments. There was that. And then I had 3 other friends ask me for a custom quote written out that they were going to put in a frame and gift. In total for December, I made $390 when I had only decided at the start of the month that I was even going to do anything. So I'm really happy with that. And, when I went into panic mode, I went into the Pro Calligraphy Bundle that I had. Luckily, I purchased the bundle at the time just because I knew it was going to be, the most value. I mean, I spent $1,000, but it seems like too little now because of how much value it has. It's like having you in my pocket at any time. I go into there and I'm like, oh, she already did a video on this. I don't have to ask her. I don't have to DM her. It's all here. So really just so nice to know that I can just log into my account and there's all these resources that are just there for me and just like set me on the right track again if I'm like starting to get too into my head. So, I mean, I was so stressed to spend that money at the time, but now I'm like, I can't believe that I could have, missed out and not had that. So super, super great course. Highly recommend, of course. It's been really like a life-changing experience this last little bit. And now for Valentine's Day coming up in February, I'm already getting ahead of that. I already have flyers printed that I'm going to drop into boutiques and wineries and little shops in the Toronto area. Now it's going to be the hard part. But yeah, I feel like I have your support because, buying the Pro Calligraphy Bundle makes you my mentor and my teacher. And you've just been so kind and responsive and truly supportive. And like you genuinely want me to succeed. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for having you and having the course and the community and just like the skills I've learned. And I'm a different person than I was last year. So thank you so much for that. And I cannot wait for the next 6 months to see where I come now, because now my headspace is right.
Oh, okay. Love talking to Magda. She and I talk a lot, actually. She is not afraid to reach out to me on email or Instagram DM with like questions about business and oh, of course in our Facebook community. And you know what? I say I'm your calligraphy mentor when you sign up for our programs, and I mean it. I really do want y'all to succeed. So I'm really excited about where Magda's gonna go. Actually, I have a really exciting update to Magda's update because we talked so much. She literally, before I recorded this, just DM'd me that she has just gotten hired by her friend to teach a calligraphy like team building workshop to 30 employees inside a company. And she's getting paid per person. She's getting paid well per person. She's she her DM was so full of like, oh my God, all in capital letters. It was really kind of fun. But she's really excited. She also loves teaching. And I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna help her sort of with some tips on how to teach a large group of people. But this is gonna lead to so many cool things because there are gonna be a lot of other managers there. And I just really see her gaining momentum now that she has decided for herself, okay, damn the fear of failure. I'm gonna go for it. So super exciting. Okay. We're going to move on to our final story. And this is actually from a student I haven't talked to previously, but I wanted to share it here because Shivani is proof that you don't have to figure it all out right away and take action right away and be perfect right away. Shivani first signed up for our courses in 2020. She started with our free calligraphy challenge, started with our Modern Calligraphy 101 course in 2020, moved on to 201. And it just took her a long time, even though she knew deep down inside that she wanted to do a calligraphy business. It took her a while to finally get there. It took some of my help, but now she's finally doing it. And I can't wait for you to listen to her update.
Hi Sheena, first of all, thank you so much for allowing me to share my story. You've had a big influence on my life in the last few years, so I'm really excited to share all the details with you and all your listeners. To start off, I learned some calligraphy as a kid, and it was always something I was interested in, but it became a bigger part of my life in the last few years. I'd moved to Australia for my master's in 2017, and fast forward to 2020, during the pandemic, I was feeling a bit burnt out. That's when calligraphy came back to me and I started practicing again, but it wasn't until I joined your free challenge that everything changed for good. That's when I signed up for Modern Calligraphy 101, and I'm so glad I did it because the structure and the personalized feedback and the Facebook community, it all helped keep me on track, and my skills started improving week by week. I then went on to take the 201 course the next year, which helped my skills even further. As things usually go, just when I thought I was gaining momentum, I got a new job in a different city and I also got married. So calligraphy took a back seat once again, but it was always in the back of my mind. It never truly disappeared. And I kept telling myself, oh, I'll get back to it, just not yet, not the right time. The real turning point came last year. I think earlier in 2024, I started listening to your podcast again, and I always knew deep down that I wanted to do it professionally at some level. I was just really scared of failing. That's when, so the whole year I was listening to all these episodes here and there, and finally around October, I realized the holiday season's coming and I still haven't done anything. I was considering getting the business starter course, which is the part of the Pro Calligrapher Bundle. That's when I reached out to you in a panic. I was really unsure about whether I needed to upskill more, improve my flourishing skills, or get better at composing text, or if I should learn engraving before I even start the business course. I was scared, what if I didn't succeed even after doing this amazing course? And just saying all this seems really silly now and obvious to me that I was just trying to protect myself. But your response gave me a reality check and it changed my perspective. It made me realize what I already knew. You made me realize that it wasn't about perfecting my skills and just adding on to my skill set. It was about taking action and just taking this leap and putting myself out there in the real world with my current calligraphy skills, which, as you said, were just good enough. And I realized it wasn't going to be a linear journey, and if I just kept waiting for perfection, I would just never get started. So this was the push that I needed. So I took action. I signed up for the course in, I think, October itself, and I dedicated time towards it each day after work. I work full time, so it was a bit hard to juggle, but it worked. I was interested, and I still am interested in live events. So I reached out to a calligraphy agency whose work I really admired, and I sent them a small portfolio, which was just photos of some of my work, and they signed me on. They gave me my first job. Around the same time, I also signed up for a local Christmas market to sell hand-lettered ornaments. The sales at the markets were just enough to cover my booth cost, but the overall experience of that weekend was just priceless. It was my first taste of putting my work out in the real world. So what I'm most proud of is that I just took this action and finally did this for myself. And it seems crazy to me that I did all this in a span of a few weeks or a month and a half, I think, at the most. And if I just had some courage before, I could have done this years ago. Lastly, for anyone thinking about signing up for the Pro Calligrapher Bundle, I would just say that please don't wait for all your circumstances to be ideal. The course gives you brilliant calligraphy fundamentals, but also a lot more than just calligraphy. It just teaches you how to overcome fear, just do that thought work that you need to build that success mindset, I guess. And it's a very well curated resource with everything that you could possibly need. So that's all. I hope it inspires you to do what's most important, and it is to go for it and just take action to set yourself up for success. And if you just keep waiting for everything to align before you finally have time and space for your creative passions, I think you will just always keep waiting. Thanks again. Thanks again, Sheena.
Oh, I love what Shivani said at the end. This, if I had only just worked up a little bit of courage before, I could have done this years ago. Don't wait for things to feel like they're in perfect alignment for you to go for it. It's your fear holding you back. And like I say always, the only way to learn how to do business and to get better at doing business and to gain confidence doing business is to do business. So you can take these kinds of small steps, right? The kinds that you see Shivani and Magda taking, teaching a free workshop to friends and spreading the word that way, reaching out to maybe an agency near you or a calligrapher near you that you admire and just asking if they have any extra, work that they could pass on. These little things, signing up for a local Christmas market. It's these little tiny steps that you can take that really start the momentum going. And, like all these student stories show, you have the time to figure it out. It's so much about the journey as much as it is about the monetary results, right? Or where you want to end up. And this is why we provide lifetime access to our calligraphy courses. Because I don't want you to feel like you have to figure it all out perfectly in 1 year. It often takes longer than that. Sometimes it doesn't, but it often does. I want you to feel supported. So, when you sign up for our Pro Calligrapher Bundle, you do have a year of like the live support to encourage you to actually learn the calligraphy, right? The personalized feedback, the monthly live Q&A sessions, being inside our current student group and participating in live cohorts. You have a year to do that, but you keep access